do it again. I'm not
Okay,
recording, so I'm going to do it again. Okay, so well, I finished the model. I'll show you the result. And this is it. Okay, so it's not you can either try to find a family. We can do that. So let's insert a load family US. What is that? Specialty equipment. No. Cable tray. Yeah, I'm sure we can find something. But if we don't, fire protection, furniture, lighting. Stiffeners. Nope. Railings. Bolsters. Supports. No. Termination. No. System families. Nothing. Okay, it's not there. Anyway, I'm sure we can try to find but I have done this using a component model in place. Then it's not a family. I just selected the floor because it's a floor. Okay. And now I set this on grid 3. And I'm using extrusion, and I'm just creating a 2-inch, and like that. And now on level 15, I drag this here. And well, this has to be continuous through the, if you have another curtain wall like this here, you have to copy all what we are doing. So this has to be aligned with the midpoint of this element. So let's drag it to the midpoint, kind of. And this one here. And then finish the model. And this is the 3D view. Okay, so this is it. Since this is something that it's perforated, it's not solid, I think the best thing we can do is to work with the transparency. If we override graphics in view and we make it slightly transparent. Okay, so we will have this idea that it's something that you can walk, but it's not solid, something transparent. Okay. Did you have any other questions or?
No, that's it. Thank you.
And now we can copy this one or copy this one here. Remember that we needed an air intake here, and that's fine because it's perforated, and we can see we can let the air get into this air gap here. Okay, so we don't need anything solid because the air has to go all the way up. If we're working with a callout, we can define this, okay? But we're not working with a callout yet. We're just defining this in a 3D view. Okay, so we have created, we are working on this space between the two curtain walls. So there's something structural, vertical and horizontal. When we have this horizontal, we can place this floor, this perforated steel floor. and this is just for maintenance, okay? But since this is perforated, remember that we have perforation, the air can go through this element. So it's not solid, so the air can go up because this is what we're looking for. Okay, if we look at the example, we have the frame here, we have this perforated floors there. So what would be next? Okay, let's try to, because this is something well, difficult. So let's try to work with the cap here, because for this cap, you see here that first it's closed. Okay, so this is not perforated. This is just, so we have something solid here at the top of this frame. And then we have these louvers here. Can I zoom in? Yeah, so you see that we have something solid here, and then we can, the air can go up and can go in this direction. And those louvers can be operated, so we can open the louvers or close the louvers so that we can let, and we need this here and here in our detail, because in this detail, this is outdoors and they are not, no, they're not letting the air go in. Okay, they will have their reasons. And here you see the detail of that. So when we are working with a call out, you see that we have this element that is perforated. We can do that easily, but we have to do that in the section. We cannot do this in the 3D view, because if we have to perforate, if we have to create thousands of perforations here, it will be crazy. So we will do that in the call out. But now let's try to work with this. And as you can see, we need a cap, then we need the louvers, and then we need this detail because here we have other louvers that can be moved either up and down to provide shade either in winter or in summer. Okay, so we have this, and then we have that, we have the cap, and this is hanging from the frame itself. These elements for the louvers, these four, okay, what they call number 4. It's a operable sunshade. Perfect. Okay, so we have this element here hanging from the frame that we have created, number 3, and then we have all these louvers in this direction. Let's do it. I'm going to work with the section. So with the section, we can see this. We see that we have the mullion, then we have another mullion here. So that's the space for the louvers. And I thought I had aligned this. Let me. Okay, so I need to select the mullion. And I thought I had moved it down. Okay, just a small detail. Well, now we have to remember that last week we worked with all these. So I'm gonna try to fix it. Okay. Now we can use the code, or well, in my computer, it's Notch. In other computers, it's Coke, but it's the same. I don't want this. I want just the other way around. This one. And I'm going to save the project. Okay, we have the 2 millions here, we have the million there, and here we can select the system panel. You see? What I'm going to do is to delete this. So this is the glass itself. Can I delete it? I can't because it's pinned. But if I unpin it, then I can delete. I can't. Interesting. But I can change the system. You see that now it's glazed. So once I have unpinned this, it's not glass anymore. I can select any other wall here. I'm going to do something stupid. I'm going to select this, okay? But you see that you can insert the wall you want inside the curtain wall, okay? So this is not what we want, but if we do this, we can change the system panel. We can have glazed or solid. Okay, so now I have selected here a solid system panel. It's not glass, but I can define here whatever I want. And okay, so this is not glass anymore. You see that here we have something that it's transparent, and this is not transparent. No, I want just to go to consistent colors. So here we have something transparent, and here we have something that it's not transparent. Okay, so sometimes we want to insert a panel that it's not glass within the same curtain wall. So remember that we have to select just the panel itself. We have to unpin it if it's a pin, and then we can change. We can just select glazed or solid, or we can create a wall, and then we can insert here all the layers that we have created. Okay, well, so far it's solid. And now I want to create like a cap. If we analyze the wall here, this is the glass. Okay, so I want to create like a cap for that structural element. Let's do it. And well, I think the easiest way to do this, if we want to do the 3D, is to use the component modeling place again. What is this? That is structural framing, because it has to do with structure. I can set this on grid 3. And now by extrusion, I can work with something like that, 1 inch. Do this now, 1 inch up, and now this, and okay, so I have created this cap. So now it doesn't rain. If it rains, the water doesn't get into this. We want to move, and this is, we want to move the water out. So if we have a flat surface, it won't work well. So I just create a slope here. Okay, so that will look better because we are moving the water out. This is what we want. And if we are splitting hairs here, well, I think it's enough. So let's do this. We are working with the 3D view. And now from this 3D view, we can drag this in this direction. It's here and there. Okay. Finish model. And we see we have created a cap. And this cap is not perforated because the goal of this cap is to move the water out of this facade. Okay. And now on this section, we have to create the movable louvers here so that we can either open or close the louvers or shut the louvers, but they have to be movable. We're going to do something very simple because we just want to convey the idea that we have these elements like this. Again, I'm sure we can find a family with something like that, like a grill. It can be the same kind of grills that we use for the mechanical systems. Well, I'm going to do something like this. Okay, so if you see, we just have 3 elements in this direction. Let's do it. And I'm going to do it here. So again, architecture, component, modeling place. What's this? Railings. Yeah, I would say a railing. And set this on grid 3, use extrusion. And now the shape is just something like that. Okay. I'm going to move it because I want this midpoint to be here. Now I can copy this like 7 inches and 7 inches. Okay, so now it can be either open or closed. I do this, or maybe I'm going to move it slightly up. Okay, now close it, and on the 3D view, it has to go from this to this. Okay, so from this frame to that frame, it doesn't go through the frame, and here we have to copy, finish, and now we have to copy this, remove constraint, copy this here. Okay, so now we have the cap of this curtain wall is protected against water, and if we need to operate these louvers, if we need to close them, we can rotate them so that this is closed, or if we want to let the air go out this way, we can rotate these louvers this way, and then the air can go out. Okay. The more details we add, the nicer it looks. I mean, so there's a difference. If we are showing this, there's a lot of details here, and it looks better than just you remember how it was at the beginning, just two detached curtain walls. So adding more details, we have the frame, we have this this element connecting, connecting so that people can walk through this air gap. And now we have this gap, this connection that is protecting this air gap from the water, and it can control the amount of air that we can let out. Okay, so let's look at the model. We have created this element here. We have the frame, we have this. And now let's work with the number 4. This number 4 is the operable sunshade, and is something like this. Okay, so again, it's operable aluminum louvers. Yeah, it's the same concept. So we can create these shapes, these curved shapes like this. If we find a family, go ahead. If we don't find a family, we'll do it on our own. Section 1. And I'm going to use this space here to create the railing, and then from this railing is the louvers are going to hang in this direction. Okay, so let's do it again. Architecture, component, model in place, railing, set, grid 3. Okay, extrusion. And now I'm going to create like a box offset. 2 inch is too much. I'm going to create a 1/2 inch offset, something very thin. Now line. And this. Okay. We can we can finish and create this as an independent element, but I think I'm going to continue, and I'm going to do all this. So here you see that we have like a circle, and then we have the louvers like that. Okay, so let's do it. I'm going to create a circle here. I move it here. And now the louvers are this start and radius. Okay, so I can start this here and it there, and the radius is like this. I can offset, and if we want this to be round, I can always use another arch, start and radius, start and radius. Okay, so we have a nice curvy shape. And now I'm going to copy this like 2 feet, 2 inches up. And imagine that this is winter. So in winter, we don't want this, or well, let's use it in summer because we have opened this. So this is the summer detail. So I'm going to move this down like this. And now I'm going to copy these different times. Okay, as many times as you want. So you can continue to copy this, finish. And now we have to see the 3D view. And on the 3D view, okay, hello again. There's been another technical issue. And now I have to Okay, so you see that I've lost a lot of work. Um, Let me.
You're not sharing screen.
You're not sharing the screen. Yeah, I'm not sharing the screen because it's terrible. I have lost a lot of work, so let me catch up quickly, and let's meet again in 5 minutes. Okay, so you see that I have to do all these things that I have done with the louvers and all that stuff, but it will be done easily. Well, I'm good if you want to stay, but I'm not going to speak to move faster.
Fernando, I sent you a chat.
Sorry?
I sent you a chat.
No, it's not necessary. Let me do this. Take yeah, take 5 minutes off because I think it's better if I have my drawing. Okay, but thank you just in case. Okay, I'm almost there. I have created this element again. Well, just to have fun, I have done this because when we have this kind of louvers, most of them, they have this shape, this curved shape. They are not like, they don't have sharp angles. So we all have these nice curves, but anyway, it's not relevant. And now I'm going to work with that rating again. So I'll start recording and I'll do